Welcome, everyone. This session is coordinated by the STREAMIT project, and my name is Katalin Oborny. I am from the Hétfő Research Institute, and I am the coordinator for the STREAMIT project. I have my very distinguished guest here, Marina Manchenko, who is from the CISIE ETS from Palermo, Italy, and we are both working as researchers and project managers for this project. And today, we would like to speak about why gender matters in STEAM education. And for this, let me just share my screen. The project we are representing has 20 partners on board, so this is quite a large project, which sounds really good, and it's really good for us because it means that we can pilot our activities in many countries. We are tackling the persisting gender gap in STEM education and professions, and we are doing this through education, piloting educational activities, policy work, impact assessment, and research. And the very base for our project was the so-called the European Manifesto for Gender Inclusive STEAM Education and Careers. And what we are doing through this project is that we are experimenting what are the good incentives, activities for supporting girls and motivating them to step into tertiary education. So we are using this manifesto for this, and we are also preparing a roadmap which will be published by the end of the project with suggestions, recommendation, what the main education providers needs to do for tackling the gender inequalities in STEM education and professions. So let me just briefly show you that what we are doing in the project. So basically, we are developing the gender inclusive, gender sensitive tools. We are experimenting with methodologies to educate young people with a focus on young girls. And we also would like to mobilize the stakeholders, those who are providing education in their various sectors of the STEM education. And by the end of the project, we would like to offer what is the finding of our experimentation. So we are empowering the girls through activities. One is the talent nurturing workshop. There is another one in which we are cooperating educators, pedagogists from hands-on activities from science centers and museums. And we are also running currently a mentoring program in 10 countries. We are also promoting all kind of information. So for this, we have online campaigns, and we also have policy dialogue webinars through which we are collecting insight, which will feed our roadmap. And we are also so we are piloting these activities, but we also attached an impact assessment to these activities because we would like to see what are the best practices helping the girls. And besides having the pilot activities and the impact assessment with them, we are also continuously collecting the best practices which we are featuring on our website. And we are also supporting educators, and for which we established inspiration hubs on national levels in 10 countries. And we are also having a platform offering all kind of resources, information on events, what is happening around STEM education. So we are speaking about STEM education, but we are very keen on speaking also on what is STEAM approach, because the letter of A has something to do with empowering with the girls. So this is what we are also defining, experimenting with, that what is the best form of including art into the STEM education. The very first step, we have to understand that it's not simply means the art, it's rather liberal arts or humanities, or some of the expert researchers I met refer to A as all the others next to STEM subjects. So what is the purpose of integrating art in STEM education? First of all, it's really really would like to show that it's a more complex roles what those who are studying in STEM needs to fulfill on the labor market. So A helps to create create the employees with a more complex thinking, with a more complex skill set. It's also a way to engage more girls into STEM subjects, but we also emphasize that it's really for motivating the girls, not for strengthening the gender stereotypes, which are also speaking about the differences between girls and boys. So it's very important when we are thinking of what A means and how we should apply the art in STEM education, it's not for creating the differences which are based already on gender stereotypes on girls and boys, because it can be really counteracting. So by the end, we just would end up with strengthening the bias, the stereotypes on girls and boys. So we have to avoid, we have to really, when we are thinking as educators, we really have to avoid strengthening stereotypes when applying A in the education. But the A, including A in STEM, so art in STEM education is also a concern because it can be used in the early education of the children, because using more creativity, playing with materials, it can give more motivation to children from their early age on. So art is really about creating the motivation, creating more fun STEM classes for children, both for girls and boys. And it's also, so the A is there in STEM education, so it's so why we promote this approach, because it's really about creating, improving all kind of skills, which is important for those who will enter with STEM background in the employment in the labor market. So including STEM is about more creativity, is about improving communication skills, is about improving problem-solving skills, social responsibility. It's about collaboration, not only between the peers, but between the teachers and the learners as well. And it's about helping the integration of the between the disciplinaries of STEM education, and it's about the real-world connection, and it's about not only doing what is required by the teacher, but it's about this whole process of thinking, making, and doing. So in this way, the children can be involved of defining, planning, designing what they are and how they are learning the STEM subjects. So the A is there to empower the girl. So that's why it's for us, it's important that we are thinking how the STEAM approach can be combined with gender-sensitive approaches. And before we go more deeply into what gender-sensitive teaching means, I would like to show a couple of activities we are doing in the project. So one is the Nurturing Talent program. This is a 20-50 hours program which runs through 4 or 5 months, and it's all adapted to the local context. So the target group is the girls, only the girls. So we are making only girls group for this program. And we recruited girls who are already interested in STEM, but they are not that sure, or they need a little bit more motivations to have them to be more committed towards STEM studies. And for this workshop or for this program, we are the partners offering all kind of activities, including trainings, workshops, study visits to universities, research labs, coding or communication skill workshops, and for instance, job shadowings. And the aim of this program is that by the end of the program, they became more confident in what they want to do. They increase their motivation if this is what they want to do. So this program is not only helping them to be more informed on STEM career choices, but to be more confident about themselves, what they want to do. The next activity we are experimenting with is the hands-on activities at science centers and museums. And for these activities, there are 8 partners on board to implement these activities. And for this, we don't want to change any activities. So we are using those activities which are already running at the museums, but with the slight changes, because we want to accommodate these activities to be more gender sensitive. So here we are really experimenting with the methodologies. And these activities, they are open for any classes, school classes, so for boys and girls. And by the end of these activities, we want to see what happens when the pedagogies apply gender-sensitive methodologies. And just for a few information on the impact assessment, we have, it's very difficult to do a real impact assessment research, but we have, for this program, we have activities which are not changing, and we have activities which are changing in terms of applying more gender-sensitive methodologies. And then we have a mentoring program running for university students and PhD students. And this is both for women and men. And they are already running in most of the countries. And we have, as we expected, we have more PhD students applied for this mentoring program. And so when we were designing the mentoring program, we learned that it's very different what are the aims for the women and men when they enter into a mentoring program. For men, it's usually more about how to improve into a leadership position. They are really aiming more than women. And for women, it's really about like strengthening their confidence in what they are doing. So in order to avoid this, we wanted to have the same goal for everyone, and this is about science communication. So they will participate in the science communication competition on national level, and then the winners of the national level competition will be invited into an international level competition. And through the mentoring program, the mentees are helped to increase their skills and knowledges in their own project research, what they are currently doing. Regarding these activities, we have all kind of information on the StreamIt project website, so you can learn more about it there. And there is other activities we would like to present, and this is the engaging of the ambassadors in the StreamIt project. So one of the main aim of this project is to promote that girls has a role, has a place in STEAM professions, in STEAM education. So we have a network of ambassadors who are mainly young women professions in various fields of STEM education. They are either PhD students or we are researchers. And it was very important for us that for the ambassadors, we invite women who are still at the beginning in their career, to show that these professions are and these roles are achievable for the girls. So we involve them as role models, ambassadors who already have experiences to share, and we are publishing their stories, how they entered into the STEAM education. Again, we would like to show with their stories that this is possible, this is achievable for girls. And then we involve them in different forms of the educational activities we are doing. This is very different in each of the countries, but we are involving them in, for instance, in the talent nurturing workshop, we are involving them in the mentorship program. And then we involve them in our online campaigns, what we are running in each year, 3 times, because we would like to share their voices, and we would like to share what is their journey, including the challenges and what are the positive sides of studying in STEM subjects. So the ambassadors are really there in their project to inspire the girls. So that's why our aim is to really share lots of things about them. And also this is something we are featuring at our project website. So these are basically the main activities, but the main question here that how we create these activities as gender sensitive activities. So that's why I would like to call Marina to the floor and speak about this subject. So the first question I would like to ask you to elaborate on is that what do you think that why gender sensitive pedagogy is particularly important in the STEM education today, and why and what key problems does it aim to address? So why gender sensitive pedagogy is particularly important?
I would say that, thank you, Katalin, first of all, welcome everyone. I would say that it's important because first of all, STEM fields in general, they remain very male dominant still. And this is something that is harming, I would say, the field itself, no, not only women in the field or one of the actors. Second of all, education, like formal education supports quite a lot of bias even until now. And again, it hurts everyone. It hurts every participant if there is a bias in education and in access to education. Gender-sensitive teaching really helps to increase participation, come up with new, more creative solutions, bring different experiences into that. And I think that that's why it's also really important. And also, if we speak about more formal questions, it supports sustainable development goals, specifically Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which is inclusive and available quality education, and gender equality, which is Sustainable Goal number 5. That's in a nutshell.
Okay, so we are also speaking about equality, but it's very important to understand what are the basic terminus technicus when we are dealing with equality. So that's why I would like to ask that how would we define what is the difference between equality and equity in the classroom practice?
Yeah, so when we speak about gender-sensitive pedagogy, we're speaking about approach that can help recognize, address, and work with specific needs of every individual, of every student, of every gender in the classroom. And we speak about equitable access to this education. So when we speak about equality is definitely a very important concept for us, but I think nowadays we need to really move into speaking more about equity, especially in terms of education, because equality is when we're treating everyone the same without considering their individual opportunities and individual circumstances. And equity is giving people the resources and support that they need based on their specific circumstances. Not everyone gets the same, but everyone gets what they need in order to succeed, which is the important basis for gender-sensitive education in general.
Okay, thank you. So whenever we are speaking about what gender-sensitive pedagogy means, we always have to think of what are how the differences are created, what are the biases. And it includes a sort of self-reflection for teachers. So of the classroom practices. So that's why I would like to ask that if you can give a few examples of how this gender bias appears in the classroom, in the everyday classroom interactions.
Yeah, this is something that is sometimes quite overlooked, because we kind of at some point we started thinking that maybe many things we already overcame and they don't exist anymore, but they do, and research is proving that sometimes teachers have this unconscious bias sometimes conscious, sometimes unconscious in classrooms. And some examples can be that, for example, they give more attention to male students, they give even more eye contact, more patience to them, they give them more time to come up with an answer, they give them more time to think, and sometimes they give them more interesting, more high order questions in order for them also to show themselves in a better way. And female students sometimes, and quite often, they're interrupted more frequently, they're not given enough time, they're not given also eye contact or consideration in this sense, how it translates to the student. And also often they get more kind of like manual tasks. So take notes, write on the flip chart because you have better handwriting, because girls are more precise or something. And this influences a lot how they can perform and the level of confidence that they can achieve in the STEM field, especially.
So this is you already started to talk about what kind of practical strategies can the educator applies when they want to apply the gender-sensitive pedagogy. So this is all about like how the teachers planning their lessons, how they choosing materials, what kind of materials, or how they organize the classroom activities. But is there any particular strategies what you offer to teachers when they want to start to apply a gender-sensitive pedagogy?
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, we invite everyone to think about hidden curriculum, no? So unspoken behaviors, unspoken rules, norms, expectations that schooling transmits from the previous years of also bias and maybe unconscious and conscious. So the boys are more often encouraged to lead, to be the leader of the group. Girls are more encouraged to assist to the leader of the group. And some traditionally more masculine fields maybe are represented more like for men. And so in this case, we individualized like 4 to 5 different areas in which every teacher can plan, they can start from planning their own strategy and also have a checklist for themselves, now to see how they're feeling it. So if we're speaking about asking questions to students, we can say that you can, every teacher can do it their own best to ensure that every student has equal turns, that they are allowed time for everyone, especially here we also speak not only about, we speak about gender definitely, but we also speak about different learning styles. So maybe shy students, they need more time. Maybe students who are not very often speaking in front of the classroom, maybe they need a little bit more time, a little bit more momentum to create their own confidence, to build their confidence. No, if we speak about group work, we need to assure that all the groups are gender mixed, that everyone has a possibility to be in leadership position, and everybody has a possibility to be in a kind of assisting position, that everyone can try everything inside the group every time. And if we speak about language and materials, so all the didactics, all the didactical materials that we use in the classrooms, we should use as much as possible, especially considering language basis in every different languages. So using gender neutral terms, so not saying fireman, but saying firefighter, not saying maybe a chairman, but chairperson, and stuff like that. Showing people of all genders in diverse roles. So not using didactical materials that show girls as nurses and boys as doctors, but flipping it around, because once again, it hurts everyone, because there are many male students who would really thrive in more of a caregiving role or more an assisting role, something like that. And we're often, because of this hidden curriculum, they're not getting the possibility to do so. And if we speak about feedback, feedback needs to be provided with equal encouragement, feedback that can build confidence of the students, of every student, again, of every gender, of every learning type, etc.
Okay, so it's within a very short time, you already listed a lots of activities. So we can see it's really starting from knowing better your classroom to applying different kind of activities tools. So how is it not an extra work for teachers, and why is it worth applying for long-term results?
So yeah, it might feel for many teachers that it's kind of like we're asking them to do more work, or in general society is asking them to do more work. more work, but it should not feel like extra work, and because it's not. It's, as I said, everyone benefits in the classroom, including the teacher, because it improves learning outcomes. No, so if everyone is succeeding, the whole classroom is succeeding and showing better results. If we are building confidence of every student, they feel more belonging in the classroom, they like it more, they enjoy it more, they provide better results for everyone. We can expand career aspirations for all genders. No, so everyone, we are not limiting some career options only for women, some career options only for men. We can create fair, empowering classrooms, once again, where everyone is thriving, everyone is happy, and this is what we're aiming for in education overall.
Thank you, Marina. I think from this very short presentation, it's already can see that it is applying gender-sensitive methodology is for the interest of everyone, because then we can speak about a more fair classroom scenario if a teacher applies this methodology. So this was a very short introduction to what is gender-sensitive pedagogy and how we are experimenting with it within our project. And what we aim here is to summarize everything in a toolkit, which will include what is gender-sensitive pedagogy, why it matters, and how to apply this gender-sensitive methodology in STEM. So we will speak about this methodology and how to do it, and we will provide all kinds of best practices, including our experimentations as well. This toolkit, this deliverable, will be published by the end of the project, and we will communicate about this toolkit on our communication channels. And lastly, I would like to share where we can be found. And also, if anyone has a question, please feel free to contact us at our email addresses. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.